My YouTube channel got hacked. This is how it happened and how I got it back. So I feel like I couldn't just upload my regular Friday video without addressing what had happened the past few days and telling you the story about how my YouTube channel got hacked. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably know this, but if you don't, then chances are you weren't even aware that my channel got hacked, so you might be surprised to see this video, but let me tell you, it was the most stressful time of my life. So what happened was on Sunday, I woke up and went to check my emails kind of like automatically. I usually do that when I wake up, and I saw that I was logged out. So at first, I wasn't really, like, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, you know, that's whatever, I'll just put my password back in. So I type in my password and it tells me that my password was changed 2 hours ago. Like, as in when I was sleeping. So when I see that, I'm a little like, what the is that? But also I'm not panicking yet. I'm like, okay, I'll just click forget password, and that's what I did, and I changed my password and I was like, okay, everything's good, I'm changing my password, we're all good. But then the next step after that was to insert like a security key, like a physical key that I had to insert in my computer. So by now my panic levels were rising a little bit, but I still was like, okay, because in my head I'm like, okay, Google is pretty secure, I have two-factor authentication, and also like every time it's me trying to change my password or trying to do something with Google, I get like a million notifications, a million security checks. I have to like click on my phone, yes, it's me, like 10 times. So I'm not worried. I'm like, there's no way that somebody could like get into that. So I clicked the steps to recover my account, and there, like next to my own email, because I have like a recovery email, next to my own recovery email, I see the recovery email of somebody else. Okay, by now I'm starting to think that somebody probably hacked into my account, but I'm still not that panicked because I'm like, okay, Google probably stopped them. I'm probably gonna get this settled really quickly. So I go through the steps to get my account like recovered, and by the end of it, it tells me that I'm gonna get a link to basically recover my account in 2 days, like 48 hours. I'm like, that's way too long. This is my work email. But by this point, I'm like, okay, that's better than nothing. So I set an alarm on my phone for like exactly 48 hours so I can go click the link whenever it's ready. But then as I look closer at that picture, I see that this is actually a copy of an email that was sent to the other recovery account. And that basically everything that I'm getting, like every Google email that I'm getting, the hacker is getting a copy of. And the issue with that is that there's a very clear button on that recovery link where it says like cancel the request. Like basically I asked to recover my email, it told me I'll send the link in 2 days, but if you want to cancel your request, you can just click here. And I'm like, well, if the hacker is seeing that, obviously they're just gonna like click cancel. So I'm like, what is this organization? Like, what is that? But I'm like, maybe I'll get lucky, maybe they won't see it. Yeah, I got the email that they canceled the request like right after that. I was like, so at this point I was getting super frustrated, but I still wasn't panicking because I, in my head, had not linked that to my YouTube channel. Even if it's the email that I use to sign into my YouTube channel, I didn't really link the two in my head. So I'm like a little bit frustrated. I'm like, okay, you know, I have to figure this out. Maybe in 48 hours, I'll try again. I don't know. And then I kind of automatically go to like click on my YouTube Studio app, and then I'm like disconnected. And so immediately I realized, I'm like, oh no. Oh no, 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 I'm not gonna be able to log into YouTube. So I try to log in with my email. Of course it doesn't work because password's been changed a few hours ago. So at this point I'm like, okay, panic level is like really, really, really rising. I'm like, they did that to like steal my channel immediately. I'm like, they did that to steal my channel. I log into another Google account, and then I look at my channel as like a visitor, and it's still all good. everything is fine, looking good. So I'm like, okay, this is good, but also this is a ticking time bomb because at any moment they could just like wipe out my channel. So I really need to do something here. So at this point, I'm trying to contact Google or YouTube by like any way possible. My dream would be to have somebody on the phone, but it's like impossible, which I do get from their perspective, because like if everybody was calling them like, oh, what's my password or something, it would be annoying. But I'd assume that at least for people who get paid by them, they would have some type of way to contact them. But no, you have to, I like read a ton of forms, I filled in whatever I could, I went on their little chat thing, but it was only bots. I could never actually get a real human, and I could not get someone like specific to my case. It was so frustrating. So I started to read a bunch of forums and look at a bunch of videos of people who had been like hacked in the past, and a lot of it was totally depressing because they were not getting their channels back, or they were getting it back in like multiple months. But I did find a few videos of people who had gotten it back pretty quickly and who said that it worked because they tweeted like at Team YouTube. So I was like, I'm doing that. But also, I haven't used Twitter since 2017 and I have 2 followers, like literally. So I'm like, there's no way that this Team YouTube with like millions of followers is going to see my little tiny tweet. But I'm like, whatever. At this point, I'm trying everything. So I literally read the same exact tweet that the guy said in his video where he got hacked and was able to recover his channel. I read the same thing, just like with my details. I'm like, okay, hopefully this will work. I try to get people to retweet it from Instagram, but you know, it's not getting a lot of retweets. So I'm like, this is not gonna work. But guess what? They actually replied. Both Team YouTube and Google actually replied to me, which is crazy, but they did. So that's the only thing I'm not gonna criticize about them, their reaction on Twitter. But of course, you know, things are never that easy. They did reply, but they just kept sending me forms. But whenever I clicked on the link, it wasn't a form, it was just like a help page from Google that I'd already read that same page like 15 times trying to find like a loophole to get my stuff back. So I was getting frustrated, and also like not their fault, of course, but they kept on replying like 3 hours later. So I was basically like, I was asking them for something, they replied 3 hours later. I was like replying immediately. I was like glued to my Twitter notifications, and then they would ask me something and then I would reply, and it was just like, it was taking forever. I was like getting so frustrated and I could not access their form. So I just did my own research, because they're giving me like the name of the form with the link. But just I researched that form and I finally found it on like this old forum. And so I just like filled out the entire form as quickly as I could. It asked me a bunch of questions to make sure that I was like the true owner of the channel. Some stuff I couldn't reply to, but I was like, okay, whatever. And so I did all of that, and then I sent it in, and then I told the person from Twitter that I sent the form in, and they said that I would get a reply within 1 business day. So that was frustrating to me, because I'm like, in 1 business day, this hacker can like take down my entire channel. But also I'm like, okay, at least there's a time frame and it's not like 2 months, so we're fine. So, you know, I was starting to chill a little bit. I was like, okay, I did what I could. It's not in my hands anymore. They have it. I need to wait a day. Let me do something else. Then I decided to like check on my channel, you know, see what's happening. So I see that they've changed the channel title, they've changed the thumbnail and the banner picture, and my videos are slowly disappearing, because I started out with 164 videos and there were like 87. And so I'm like, oh no, it's happening. And I basically like break down at this point. I'm like, this cannot be happening. So I go back to contacting YouTube. I tell them like, the process needs to be sped up. Like my channel is being destroyed. Like, you cannot do this to me, please help. And they're like, well, you know, you need to wait, which again, I mean, I get it, but it's just so frustrating when you're like, well, this needs to be stopped right now. And I can't just sit back and do nothing. So I decided to check my channel again. And by this point, they are going live with like this fighting video. They have deleted all my videos, and I have lost 300 subscribers, which is normal because people were getting notifications that I was going live and then clicking on a live and seeing like a fighting channel. So I don't blame people for unsubscribing, but it was just so frustrating to me, like seeing all these subscribers like go, and I was just like, this cannot be happening. And I'm getting terrified at this point, because the Twitter person told me that they would come back to me in a day to have like the steps to get my channel back. So they didn't say like I would get my channel back in a day. So I'm like, how long is this gonna take? I am probably going to lose so many subscribers. Like, what is gonna happen? So I just wait and wait. I'm like, okay, you have to just wait this out. There's nothing more you can do. And after it's been like 24 hours on the dot, I send a DM back to the person on Twitter saying, okay, it's been 24 hours, still no news. What can I do? And she just tells me to wait. That's all I can do, wait. And I'm like, I have been waiting, but I'm just like losing all my subscribers here. Like, this is terrible. You have to help me. And so I decided to go back on like the YouTube chat thing, and I chat, like I get somebody on the chat and I tell them like, okay, this is my case number. It's been over 24 hours. I have no news. What can I do? And this person really didn't help at all. They were just telling me like, well, it's a confirmed hijacking case. You know, it can't be done in a snap of the fingers, in the blink of an eye. You have to be patient. I'm like, yes, I understand, but can I at least have like a time frame so I'm not like obsessively checking everything every second? And they were like, no, there's no time frame for this. Sorry. And I'm like, what? Also, they made me feel like this whole situation was my fault. They were telling me, make sure that your account is more secure next time. Like the security of your account is in your hands. You can't just like, you have to do all this to make it secure. And I was like, dude, I had like 2FA. I had like a strong password. I changed my password regularly. Like, what more do you want me to do? You're supposed to be Google. Like, this is supposed to be very secure. Like, why did my channel get hacked? I mean, I know it's not the fault of these people who work there. That's why I try to stay like very cordial with them. I know they're just doing their job and it's not like in their power, but I was just frustrated at YouTube or Google for not having like a system in place for this type of thing and for people to just be like so chill about it. So you know, I decided to do you know, something really smart, which is to check on my channel again. I see that I've lost 200 more subscribers, and by this point I am getting so sad and frustrated. Also, I am like, I was sick throughout this whole process. I still am a little bit, but I was like really sick. I could not even get out of bed. So this was just poor timing, and it was just so hard for me. I was not sleeping. I was so stressed. Maybe to you watching, you're like, it's just a channel, like chill. There are things that are worse in life. Of course, I get it. But also, this is my job, and my channel is how I, first of all, make money and also attract clients who then I make money with the consultations. And the email was hacked too, so I couldn't have like my consultations. I couldn't have my client things that I usually do. I was basically like, my whole entire job and source of income was just gone. So I was also trying to explain the situation on Instagram to keep people updated, but the issue is that I have not even 3,000 subscribers on Instagram. So, you know, please go follow me on Instagram right now so that if something like this, let's hope not, ever happens again, you will know what's happening. And so thank you to everyone on Instagram who sent me DMs and who was there and who wished me well and who was like, you're gonna get it back, don't worry. And even if you don't, we're gonna be back for your new channel. So thank you all so much. It was really heartwarming to have you there with me. So at this point, I just couldn't sit around waiting, doing nothing. So I decided to create a new YouTube video. I mean, a new YouTube channel with a video explaining that I got hacked. My thinking with this is that now that the hacker had changed like my channel name, like people would be typing Edukale, like my name in YouTube, and not finding my channel. And I was like, okay, if they can find a new channel that has the same name and then this video that explains it, maybe then they are gonna stick around on my old channel and it's gonna be okay. So that was my hope, and so I did that video. And also I knew that I had to create the new channel like right away, because if I waited, I would just not have the motivation to like start over from zero. Like if I do it now, well, I'm still hoping that I'm gonna get my old channel back, then it's gonna be fine. And then by the time, if I learn that I can't get my old channel back, probably my subscribers will be much higher than 0, so I'm gonna have to keep going. So I was just like, I have to do it now. So after that's done, I'm like, okay, it's been a few hours, I haven't contacted YouTube, but let me do that again. So I contact YouTube again, like in the chat, and they tell me, ma'am, you have got to stop contacting different people all the time. It's not making your case go any quicker, it's even making it go slower. Which, to be fair, I get why that would happen, but it's just, when you look at it from my perspective, I was so frustrated and so desperate. And I'm like, maybe at one point I'm gonna get to one person who knows a little bit more, who has like a little loophole, who has a little hack, something that's gonna help me. I was just like trying to get their attention all the time to make sure that they didn't forget about my case. And yeah, that was my thinking, but I get that it was a little excessive. And by this point, it's been almost 48 hours since the moment where I asked for for my account to be recovered and like the alarm that I put on my phone. So I decided to just take a chance. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna still try to follow that link, even if it says that it was canceled, like the link was still visible. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go follow that in hopes that I can get my account back. So that's what I do. I'm literally sitting in front of my screen like the last hour because I want to get there like at the right moment. I'm like, maybe I can get there before the hacker gets there. So after 48 hours, I mean, I try to click the link and it just like doesn't work. It says like this site can't be reached. I'm like, okay, that was to be expected. But also I'm like, maybe I can try again, because there's this like security thing where if you try to like recover your account too many times, then Google will just like block it and you have to wait 48 hours. So I'm like, maybe I can try to recover the account again. And so I try to log back in, I do all the steps, I change like the phone number that they had put in, I put my phone number, I put my email, I do everything, and I keep on waiting for it to tell me like, oh nope, like, you know, it's not working. But it works. Like I log back in. At this point, I'm like not even believing it. I'm like, this can't be true. I can't believe this is happening. But it seems like it is. And I think what it was, like, I didn't get an explanation on this, but first of all, I had tried too many times the first time, and the guy, like the hacker, had tried before. So it was just too many attempts, and like Google kind of like shut it, locked it. But this time I think that I was able to do it like before the hacker kind of like intercepted any of the messages, because what I didn't say is that when I tried to log back in the first time, like on the Sunday, I had a bunch of emails from my like backup account, like Google security alert. And since I was sleeping, I was not obviously counteracting any of that. So immediately I go to my YouTube channel. I'm like, hopefully they didn't delete the videos, they just put them on private and, you know, all can go back to normal. And that was the case. I was so lucky. I just had to like put my pictures back. They had deleted that. And also I still haven't done this. I need to like put my description in like my favorites channel and like my home menu. I need to do all of that again, because they like deleted all of that. But the videos, they were all there, all 164 videos. And I was just so relieved. Like I had to put all of them back up, and it took like some time, but I was just like, this could have been way worse. And the only bad thing that came from this, like the thing that I will not be getting back, is that I lost like 600 subscribers. I actually gained like 60. Like I lost 600 and then I gained 60 from the live stream that they put up. But I'm sure that these people will unsubscribe once they see like this video, because they're like, this is not the fighting channel I subscribe to. But yeah, and I know that 600 subscribers is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it meant a lot to me because I was supposed to be hitting 50,000 subscribers before Christmas. That would have been like the best Christmas present. So I was so sad. I was like, come on, I'm not even gonna be hitting 50K in 2022 now. I was really sad about that, but in the grand scheme of things, it's fine. So thank you so much to everyone who supported me and sent me DMs and was there for me during this whole process. Again, it can seem like I'm over exaggerating, like it's just a channel and it was only like a few days, but this is like my life to me. Like this, my business, it's like my whole business revolves around YouTube and that Gmail account. So without any of them, without both of them, I'm like screwed. Also, moral of the story, if you have a YouTube channel and you're watching this now, please get a physical security key. That's what I ordered now. Like I ordered it on Sunday right away when I got the notification. I'm like, that's the only thing I can do to make it safer. It's like, instead of getting a message on your phone, which that can be intercepted by hackers, it's actually like a physical key that you plug into your computer, or like your phone. So that's what I ordered. Go get it right now. Like I cannot tell you the amount of times I kept on watching YouTube videos throughout these 3 days. And whenever I would see channels of people, I would get like scared for them. I was like, you're just like living your life with this channel like in the wild, and you could get hacked. Like that's also, I think that the reason why I got hacked so easily was because I was sleeping while it was happening. So like I was saying, Google was sending like all these security alerts, but I wasn't able to counteract anything because I was sleeping. So, you know, just don't sleep and you'll be fine. But to be honest, at one point I really thought that I wasn't going to be getting this channel back. And I was like, well, maybe I'm gonna get it back, but like in 3 months, I'm gonna have like 10K subs and it's just gonna be horrible. So I was just fully preparing myself to either stop. At some point, I even considered, like I really was like, okay, maybe this is a sign, because obviously I do sometimes think about, is this worth it? Like, is it worth it to put all this time and effort into these videos and get like a tiny amount of money from AdSense and a tiny amount of money in general? Living in Paris, so expensive. So it's like a real struggle financially compared to the amount of work I put in. So I was like, maybe that's a sign that you should just stop. But then another part of me was thinking about all like the DMs that I get that you guys sent me, all the messages saying that I am helping you, that you like my content, and that it's really like helped you eat healthier, and that you really want me to keep on making videos. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make another channel. If I don't get this one back, I'm gonna make another channel. And you know, I got to 50K subs once, I can do it again. It's gonna be fine. For now, I still have the new channel because I'm like, what should I do with it? Should it be like a backup channel? I don't know. Final thing I want to bring up, YouTube and Google. What the F are you doing? You have people making their livings off of your platforms, and you have no way for them to directly contact you, and you are actually not doing anything to help them. Like literally, I recovered my account on my own. They didn't do anything to me to help me. Once I got back, I was able to log back in. I was able to go back to my YouTube channel. I like did everything to get my videos back, and I had to put everything back to get my channel back to normal again. They did not help me. All they did was answer me on Twitter, and so I felt like a little bit less alone. But other than that, no, like I didn't hear anything. The form I completed, never heard about that, never, you know, never mentioned it. And I'm like, how can you guys leave me in this situation? And probably this has happened to people who had like even more subscribers and had made like more money, and it was like a bigger deal for them. And I'm just like, my mind is blown. How can you not have a system put in place for that? So please look into that. Like, look into that. Make sure that you have a system for when this happens. So you have, I don't know, like facial recognition, so that the person can get their channel back in like a second. They don't have to go through the entire process that I did. And again, I was lucky. It took like 3 days. Some people, it took multiple months. Some people like never get their channels back. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Also, this whole experience really motivated me to just diversify my platforms, because my subscribers on YouTube don't transfer onto Instagram at all. Again, I have like almost 50K here. Well, not anymore. Whatever. And like almost 3,000 on Instagram. And I really wish that you guys would just go follow me on Instagram. I'll try to make more content there. I'll try to make more content that you like. I really don't want to rely on only one platform so much, because it's just so stressful. Like when you lose it, you feel like you've lost everything. Okay, so I'm gonna stop rambling. Hopefully this video was somewhat interesting to you. Again, I felt like I couldn't just go back and put a normal video. I felt like I had to explain a little bit. But I am going to be posting normally, if I can get around to it, a bonus video sometime next week. It's a video that I filmed some time ago that I never posted. So I'm going to be posting that so that you kind of get a normal video from me. And it's a topic that I know that you guys like. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you watch it until the end, thank you. Wow. And thank you so much for everybody who sent me messages throughout this whole process. And also, I hope that you stick around and that you come back. Also, if you unsubscribe, please come back. Promise you I'm not going to show you fighting. Don't forget to like the video and comment and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.